is the time to draw freehand perspective. That required no vanishing point on the page.
Students usually have hard time designing at this stage because there's so many lines and boxes.
You get locked into the perspective, the imaginary vanishing point.
Yes. I don't even need to see the point and I know they're going to converge perfectly. Let's check. And look at it.
Oh my god.
So everything will converge even you don't see the point.
Hey, welcome back to CIA Kingston.
I'm Nia.
We received a lot of feedback about previous perspective episodes. Notice a lot of viewers have different perspective understanding or mindset that kind of issue.
Yeah, there are actually many ways to learn and apply perspective in concept art, but most of us only learn like one way. Like we might learn the traditional, tedious way, like I did in school, and after that, it might be hard to become more efficient when doing like freehand perspective. So it's actually important to be more like flexible with it. Yeah.
Actually, in production, you will need every different method. You need the loose method, the freehand perspective method, and the accurate perspective method.
And the goal, I guess, is not trying to make everything really perfect and look super correct. It's just to not have any glaring perspective mistakes. Yeah.
Different time, you need to have different accuracy. Sometimes speed is more important. Especially when you don't have a design.
So coming up with an idea.
Your energy should focus more on design. Being good in perspective will allow you to design with more confidence because professional artists will not let perspective issues show in their presentation or in their work. There are many approaches to perspective, so stay tuned at the end. Today we will introduce another super useful method in addition to the one we showed in episode 4.
Video. I guess we'll also show how these different methods apply to optimize like different subject matter. So if you're working on environment, you might use a different methods when designing like a 3/4 view or something like that. Yeah.
So we have learned freehand perspective and some tricks in perspective and a proper academic kind of perspective. Today we'll introduce a really quick way for beginner to pick up immediately.
Yeah, along with this, we'll try to answer some of the important questions you guys left in the comments section of our previous perspective video.
Watch till the end and you will be shocked.
So one of the recurring questions that we got is how to draw multiple objects in perspective. It's actually quite simple, but I think like most people like myself, when we first learn perspective, we go from like 1 point and then 2 point and 3 point like separately. But you can actually just combine them all into the same scene as long as you have the same horizon line. Yeah.
Because 1 point is front facing, everything will look like this, and 2 point is having an angle, the object is having an angle. So as long as all the vanishing point will converge in the same eye level, you can place anything with different angle in the same scenes. Okay, someone asked in the feedback why we don't put the eye level first, the horizon line first in the 1, 2, 3, 4 method episode. If you don't understand why we use 1, 2, 3 plus 4, 5, probably you don't draw a lot. That's why you don't know how useful it is. Yeah, that's why I feel really serious. The reason behind that is it allows more flexibility in design process. Beginner will get affected by having all the tweaks. When they design, they will try to follow the tweaks.
It like constricts the way you design.
Correct. Either the proportion will have problem or the design will look more like a box. With the 1, 2, 3, 4 method, we can start our design first.
Because if you establish such a rigid grid so early on, it's hard to break out from it.
Your energy will be more focused on like, what is the silhouette, what is the proportion. And before we add on any details or time span, then we will project the perspective grid. It allows more flexibility in design process, especially when you're designing, you don't want to let those perspective grid to affect your consideration, your thinking.
Of like the silhouette and the proportion or something.
Human is very good at connecting dots and lines, like, especially for beginner. When they see line and all those grid cross over each other, they will just follow the line and your design gonna look like a box. With the 1, 2, 3, 4 method, you will not create double eye level. The vanishing point will be on the same eye level. So it's very useful in the early design process.
Some of you guys also mentioned having trouble finding the center line of an object in perspective. So Here's a quick demonstration of how to do that.
The easiest method to find the center line is what I'm doing here, creating a box on the ground plane, then an X in the middle. Then I'm tracing the middle of that X up the entire object to find it. And here I can implement that on the 1, 2, 3, 4 method that we explained before by finding the landmarks using the X and the box.
What are you doing, Tony?
I'm drawing in perspective.
You're wasting time.
Vanishing points.
As mentioned earlier, we will introduce a new method to draw freehand perspective that requires no vanishing point on the page.
No vanishing point. So you're saying I don't have to stick 3 pieces of paper together?
That's
To put my
silly.
vanishing
That's silly and time wasting. And in production, you won't
Yeah.
have the time for that. Either you use the grid method in Photoshop, you download some grid system or something like that. But if you're a beginner, having all the grids on your canvas, you may design something that looks just like your grids. And most camera angle will not look very good if the vanishing point is on the page.
It looks too distorted.
Correct. For large scale environment, usually the whole vanishing point or only one of the vanishing point is in the page. The students usually have hard time knowing how to do it. Right? Extend my canvas so that I can see the full point. But you don't have to do that. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Alright. Now is the time to draw freehand perspective.
Okay, first I will demonstrate the old method that extend the 2 point all the way. Imagine you're drawing 3 paper. So I point like on the left side, I draw out all the perspective grids. I create another set of grids from the other side, which have a lot of grids on the paper. Students usually have hard time designing at this stage because there's so many lines and boxes.
You get locked into the perspective grid.
Yeah. Usually design will look more like a box because you're trying to follow the grids too much. And I don't encourage students to design with this
Method.
this workflow. Yes. The second one, which is the one that I do most of the time, that you don't really need a VP vanishing point on the page. I will set it to 3 sessions, like roots of dirt. My main design will be usually at one of the.
So
one
you
dirt.
design it first.
Yes, I draw the shape that I like,
silhouette.
that I think the proportion is good for design. But the perspective is not perfect at this stage. I will draw the eye level, and then I will
horizon.
create the unit system at one side of the page. So I will draw 3 points, the space have to be even, and 1 point below the eye level is low eye level. I name it 0, 1, 2, and 3, or -1 below eye level. And I draw the same thing or duplicate all these points to my main design and scale it up. So the unit is the same, but it's scaled up.
So you scale it up evenly.
Yes. And then I put the same point and scale it down on the other side of the canvas. And then I would connect all the line, number 3 to number 3, number 2 to number 2, and do you believe they're gonna converge at the far side?
The imaginary vanishing point.
Yes. I don't even need to see the point, and I know they're gonna converge perfectly if the unit you set is even. So let's check. I use the pen tools and extend the line to one of the point, and look at it.
Oh my god.
So everything will converge even you don't see the point. If you have this logic, from the edge of the canvas, you create a set of point and you use the same set of point in the middle and at the other side.
So the increments have to be larger in the middle where your design is, and then
Yeah.
smaller on
Correct.
each side. So it
This is a
converges,
very
right?
simple logic that I used for many years, but I don't know why.
But you didn't teach us that.
I mean, I thought everyone have logics. So,
I guess
that's why.
common sense is not that common.
Correct, yes. I thought all these are common. But then
Oh.
when the course is 14 weeks and everyone is trying to match 3 paper to draw their perspective, I just don't want to disturb
Ruin
you
the
guys.
fun.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin the fun. Okay, let's try it one more time. For those who didn't see it earlier, look carefully because it's going to be very fast. 3, 2, 1, start. Horizon line, design in the 1/3 area. Draw a straight line so you can land. You can put your unit, skew it up on that line, which is where your main design is. Yeah, so I skew up the unit, try to match where's the 0, and then duplicate another set to the right side. Match the 0. Connect 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, and they're gonna converge at the other side. Yeah.
This is so much easier if you're drawing on a small sketchbook and you don't have space to draw.
Exactly. This is so logical for me. Like, yeah, when I was a student, I already tried to do things like that. I believe this will solve most people's perspective problem, especially for those who have problem understand the academic types of perspective drawing.
Why didn't you teach us this at FZD?
I like watching students suffer.
So after each episode, we want to provide you guys with some practical tips and what you can do at home to apply what we just talked about.
As a simple assignment, let's try to draw a backpack and canvas in perspective using the 1, 2, 3, 4 method in the design stage. So after the design is done, we can follow the design and change angle and put this backpack in an environment using the no VP method, so we can practice both. And this is how we work in the industry too. We won't create all the hardcore perspective when we are just trying to brainstorm or experiment on design shapes. Yeah, be flexible.
So yeah, I hope that was helpful for you guys. Make sure to give us a like and subscribe because it really helps us know what kind of content to make in the future.
Yeah. Also, don't forget to leave a comment if you guys have any more questions you would like us to answer in the future video.
Until then, thanks for watching. See you.
Practice.
Drawing in perspective.
You just want the box here, right? You're wasting time. What are you doing, Tony?
Drawing in perspective.
Oh my god. I will never do that. You're wasting time.
Kingston, why didn't you teach us this at FZD?
I like watching students suffer.
Practice.
Okay.